library friends. It's Miss Tree coming to you from the Charlotte Mecklenburg Library, located in Charlotte, North Carolina, located in the United States of America, located on the earth. Wonder why we're talking about all of that as we get started today. It's because today we are traveling around the world during our sensory story time. So what I want to do to get started is give you a sense of where our travels are going to take us today. We are going to start out by reading a book. After we share our book, I'm going to share some fun facts with you about the 7 continents. After we do our Did You Know, we are going to get to do a rhyme together, because I know you like to rhyme, and I do too. Once we do our rhyme, look at that. We get to read another book together today. And then, after we finish our second book, we are going to take a look at an activity that you can do at home. Now, for this activity, all you're going to need are pieces of paper, a pair of scissors, some glue or a glue stick, a pencil, markers or crayons or colored pencils or whatever you want to color with, a hole puncher if you have one. If not, you can use a pair of scissors to make little holes. You'll see it'll make sense. And a piece of string or yarn or ribbon or whatever you might have. So I'm going to show you an activity that you can make if you have those around the house. And then we're going to close out our day with one last rhyme. So, let me flip my cards around, just like we're going to go around the world and see where we're starting today. That's right. We are starting our day off with a book. And the book we're going to share today is How to Make an Apple Pie and See the World. And this is by Marjorie Priceman, and it's a publication of Dragonfly Books and was published in 1994. And so we are going to share How to Make an Apple Pie and See the World by Marjorie Priceman. Look at that. She starts out with a map. Looks a little bit like my map back there, doesn't it? I think that's a good indication that we're going to go on some travels today. How to make an apple pie and see the world. Making an apple pie is really very easy. First, get all the ingredients at the market. Mix them well, bake, and serve. Unless, of course, the market is closed. In that case, go home and pack a suitcase. Take your shopping list and some walking shoes. Then catch a steamship bound for Europe. Use the 6 days on board to brush up on your Italian. If you time it right, you'll arrive in Italy at harvest time. Find a farm deep in the countryside. Gather some superb semolina wheat. An armful or two will do. Then hop a train to France and locate a chicken. French chickens lay elegant eggs, and you want only the finest ingredients for your pie. Coax the chicken to give you an egg. Better yet, bring the chicken with you. There's less chance of breaking the egg that way. Get to Sri Lanka any way you can. You can't miss it. Sri Lanka is a pear-shaped island in the Indian Ocean. The best cinnamon in the world is made there from the bark of the native currandu tree. So go directly to the rainforest, find a currandu tree, and peel off some of the bark. If a leopard is napping beneath the tree, be very quiet. Hitch a ride to England. Make the acquaintance of a cow. You'll know she's an English cow from her good manners and charming accent. Ask if you can borrow a cup or two of milk. Even better, bring the whole cow with you for the freshest possible results. Stow away on a banana boat headed home to Jamaica. On your way there, you can pick up some salt. Fill a jar with salty seawater. When the boat docks in Jamaica, walk to the nearest sugar plantation. Introduce yourself to everyone. Tell them about the pie you're making. Then go into the fields and cut a few stalks of sugar. Better fly home. You don't want the ingredients to spoil. Wait a minute. Aren't you forgetting something? What about the apples? Have the pilot drop you off in Vermont. You won't have to go far to find an apple orchard. Pick 8 rosy apples from the top of the tree. Give 1 to the chicken, 1 to the cow, and eat 1 yourself. That leaves 5 for the pie. Then hurry home. Now, all you have to do is mill the wheat into flour. Grind the curundu bark into cinnamon. Evaporate the seawater from the salt. Boil the sugar cane. Persuade the chicken to lay an egg. Milk the cow. Churn the milk into butter. Slice the apples. Mix the ingredients and bake the pie. While the pie is cooling, invite some friends over to share it with you. Remember that apple pie is delicious, topped with vanilla ice cream, which you can get in the market. But if the market happens to be closed, you can eat it plain. And that brings us back to our map and the end of How to Make an Apple Pie and See the World by Marjorie Priceman. So that was our book we got to share today. And now that means that our book is over. We're going to continue our trip around the world by talking a little bit about Did You Know? And the Did You Know we're going to talk about today are the 7 continents. And you can see my map right behind me here. There are 7 continents. And they are Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Europe, Antarctica, Oceania, and Australia. So we are going to start by talking about Asia, which is my green continent right over here. Asia is the largest continent. It has 60% of the world's population and 30% of the world's landmass. So it's the biggest. The next biggest is my orange one right down here, and that is Africa. Africa is actually made of 54 different countries. And did you know that some of the oldest fossils ever discovered were discovered in Africa? Next up comes one that I know you're familiar with because if you, like me, live in or around Charlotte, North Carolina, we live in a continent called North America. And North America is my purple one right over there. North America is actually made up of 23 countries, including the United States of America, Canada, Mexico, and the Caribbean islands. Over 580 million people live in North America. Right below North America is my yellow continent down here, and that is South America. South America has the longest mountain range, called the Andes. It also has the highest waterfalls, and those are called the Angel Falls. But not only does it have a lot of water coming down from the waterfalls, it also has the driest place on earth, which is the Atacama Desert, and that's located in Chile, one of the countries inside South America. Which brings us to our next continent, and that one is all the way down there on the bottom, it's that little white line you see. That's Antarctica. It has the smallest population, which means the smallest number of people living there. And that's because it's also one of the coldest. It's covered almost completely in ice. On Antarctica, there are research stations for scientists, but there's no cities like Charlotte and no towns like Matthews or Mint Hill. After Antarctica, our next continent is Europe. That's my pink one way over there. Europe is made of 44 countries, and it actually houses the two smallest cities in the world. One of those cities is called the Vatican City, and that's located inside Rome in Italy. The other small city is called Monaco, and it's bordered on three sides by France. And so that brings us to our last continent. And our last continent is this little blue one way down here on the end, all by himself. That is Australia, which is actually part of Oceania. And that's made of Polynesia, Micronesia, New Zealand, and Australia, including some other island nations. And it sits in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Australia, fun fact for you, is the world's largest inhabited island. And so, that's a little bit about my 7 continents: Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Europe, Antarctica, and Oceania or Australia. So we've done a little bit of Did You Know? And so that means it's time now for a rhyme. And I know that we're talking about continents, and these continents are huge. And we talked about how there are 580 million people that live in North America, but you are one of those people. And because of that, you are special. You are special, you are special, very, very special, very, very special. There's no one like you. There's no one like you. You are completely unique, and I wanted you to know that. And so now, that was our rhyme. And so that means, that's right, it's time for another book. And this time, we're going to share that book that you see right over there. This book is called All of Us, and it is by Karen Berger, and it was published by Green Willow Books in 2018. All of Us. When your heart is heavy, and your step unsure, when the winds are wild, and the path unclear, don't fear the night, so dark and vast. or the hazy future? Or the stormy past? Know that I am here, as steady as stone. We are stronger together. Than we are alone. Hope and light will always prevail. For love wins. Love wins. Love will never fail. And that is the end of All of Us by Karen Berger. And so that was our book, which means it's now time for me to show you an activity that you can do at home. Now remember, for this activity, all you need are some pieces of paper, a pencil, a pair of scissors, and some glue or a glue stick, markers or crayons or colored pencils or paints, whatever you might want to decorate with, a hole puncher if you have one. If not, you can use your scissors, just be careful, and a piece of ribbon or string or yarn. Because what we are going to do is talk about how we fit into the world. Because we are part of what makes the world so special. Because without you, the world wouldn't be what it is. So we are going to make little hangers that are going to remind us where we fit into the world. And so what you're going to do is cut out a bunch of circles in all different sizes. And then you're going to draw yourself as part of these. So on my small circle, I drew my home. But my home is inside my city. And my city, you can see I put a crown on there for Queen Charlotte because I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. So that is my city. But my city is part of my state. And my state is North Carolina. And you can see my state there. And I even drew a little red dot to show you where Charlotte is. But my state is actually inside of my country, United States of America. So I did a little USA, but my country is actually inside of my continent, which is North America. And my continent is actually inside of my planet, Earth. And so, even though the Earth seems so big, I can still find myself inside my continent, inside my country, inside my state, inside my city, Charlotte, North Carolina, and inside my home right there. And so I am a part of the world, but I have my own special place inside of it, and I know you do too. So I hope you get a chance to make your own reminder of just how important you are to the earth we share. So that is an activity that you can do at home. So that was our activity, which means it is now time for us to finish up our day with one last rhyme. Are you ready? Special, special, special me, how I wonder what I'll be. In this big world I can be anything I want to be. Special, special, special me, how I wonder what I'll be. Well, I hope you find who you are as part of this great big world. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you want to learn more about the world around you, or find more fun books like the one we shared today, and you belong to the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Library and have a Charlotte-Mecklenburg Library card, or are a CMS student with a One Access account, you can use those numbers to access the library's catalog and find more books, materials, and e-resources about the world around you. So thank you, friends, for traveling the world with me today. I hope you get out there and explore your place in it a little bit. I'll see you next time. Bye.